You and I have had in-depth discussion about the what I feel, and I asked you about this. We've talked over the. I mean, I think every time we've talked, that's been a part of the conversation of what has taken place in a city like Chicago, and because Chicago is the third largest city in America, obviously the spotlight goes on because of the things taking place, but the knocking down of public housing like Cabrini Green, which got turned into condos, and the disbursement of poor people into areas where there might be disagreements already brewing and friction, men going to jail at a high rate in the 80s during the crack epidemic, and then coming home, and you had this generational beef between new dudes on the block and OGs, if you will, coming home, lack of jobs and opportunity, food deserts, like it's the perfect storm for everything that we're watching, which is, I think, what you're pointing to as far as like the atmosphere was kind of set for this. Being 24, still being in the neighborhood, talking to young people, do you feel like young people know what's happening to them? Or do they feel just angry and they're lashing out? Is that what we're seeing? Like, really talk about what the conversations are, if you can, about things that you hear from your compadres and people in your generation.
I think that there's a lot of rage in the youth and misguided energy, and that's something that I was really dealing with in this album, in my own life and also in the lives of those around me, and trying to come to terms with it, you know, and a lot of self-medication as a result of that, because you have these kids without opportunities and without role models and without examples of a way to positively grow up, and they're mirroring what they see. They're dealing with what's being thrown at them. Like when we were speaking the other day, and you spoke about, you know, these shorties without not being given a chance to grow up. And so Ebro and I talked the other day, and we had a little conversation where I actually got real emotional because I remember my man, you know, who's a good guy, somebody that would be in this room, and he was going through a lot of things, self-medicating, and now he's locked up probably forever. And he just texted me when he heard I had an album coming out, like, yo, send me the lyrics so I could read through them, you know? And but it's really for that type of like meaningful situation that I had to make this album the way that I did. And the process I went through with this album was like nothing that doesn't truly speak to me at my core and could really be of use to somebody else in their life and has an honest perspective could even make it on the album, because I wouldn't feel right sending my man lyrics when he's doing a 30-year bid that's just like, nigga, fuck, what you, and so that's not what this is. So that's not what I did, because I'm representing a lot of people going through some real shit, and the comments from people when I put out music that really matter the most to me, it's never press or reporters or anything. It's like my shorty from 47th Street running up on my car like, yo, you speaking to me, man, I got you in the headphones, you speaking to me. So that's who I really wrote this album for.
You guys, we're gonna listen to tracks that Vic Mensa will be selecting tonight from his album, The Autobiography, pretty soon. Before we get to that, how does it feel to have your album produced by No ID, who also just executed, you know, the phenomenal 444 album? I mean, you've been working with No ID for a couple years now. Maybe longer, right? How long?
Well, I've known No ID since I was like 17, but we didn't really actually start working until last year.
Got it.
When we started doing this album. And
does everyone know what a No ID is? Is that clear? No, I mean to hip hop. You feel like it's known that Resurrection, Common, Kanye,
favorite album, B.
Chicago hip hop is No ID. Y'all, everybody's clear. Lenny S, what's going on, bro?
Oh, my man.
Yo, Lenny S got a TV show, bro. We gotta talk. Yeah. We'll get back to you. We'll do another episode with Lenny after another time. But how does that feel, bro?
No, it was just a really, really eye-opening learning experience to be able to do the album with No ID. The way that No ID thinks about music and works on music is like a scientist, and it's I felt I had to get him on the production. He executive produced the album. I felt I had to because his language in production is as detailed or more detailed than my language in lyricism, you know, and that's my main forte. And No ID was able to come in, and as you see with Jay-Z's album, you know, No ID he's really influential in concepts and like subject matter. So No ID was able to come in when I had a lot of songs and be like, maybe you're talking too much about this one thing, you need to explain, give context. So we really wanted to come at this from all angles and make sure that the full story was being told, and that, you know, the rhythms and everything was in such a way that we could really put the musicality into it while maintaining that bounce and something that you could still move to.
Well, I think before we get to the album, I just want you to tell the audience, and you're going to narrate this for us, right? You're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not going nowhere.
But I think it would be, give us some of the names that are featured on the Autobiography.
So the album is really way more about me than features. It's not one of those albums with a lot of features. There's nobody else doing verses, but I was lucky enough to have some of my favorite artists involved, you know, doing hooks and bridges. There's Pharrell Williams on a song called Wings that I put out with the pre-order today. Definitely go pre-order that. I would appreciate that. My man Saul Williams, one of the dopest poets, you know, ever to walk the planet. I have Weezer featured on the record. That's one of my favorite bands. The Dream. My brother Joey Perk from Chicago, Chief Keef from Chicago, my man Ty Dolla $ign. So I'm gonna play through the album, and I'm gonna tell you guys about some of the records, and I just want you to enjoy it and, you know,